Welcome back, lazy gamers. Welcome back to ARA History Untold. I want to try a game as Pachacuti here. And Pachacuti's main ability is the Andean Masonry, which gives you 100 influence after winning a war. Will be important if we try to play a war game here, but I think some level of war game is definitely possible and probable simply because of a second ability here, which is plus 10% production in your capital for each land force you command. Which means I think a single unit that is deployed counts as a land force. I got to check this out, but if it does, we should pretty much be deploying everything that we have constructed to make sure that the force cap is as close to being complete, as close to being full as possible. Typically in the mid game, it's very normal to reach a force cap of 15, 16, 17, maybe even more than 20, I think. And if that happens, I mean, we are looking at plus 200 production in in the capital. So I think a good strategy here after we get our initial scouts and maybe our initial settlers out is to just spam units and make sure they're deployed and ready for action. I think that strat should work here. Not entirely sure how this plays out, but that is a strategy I want to try, and that's why I want to play as Pachacuti here. His unique unit is the Andy Slinger, which is, I think, a slightly better version of an archer. My only problem with this game, with the unique units, is that they don't have any upgrade path. So we will build some, but there is a good chance that we may end up disbanding and replacing them eventually, probably in the later acts for sure. Or maybe we just leave them around. But if there is a better option to fill up the force cap with stronger units, we will end up disbanding these. But I think the long-term fix the game needs to implement is having an upgrade path for these guys, for all unique units across all the other civs too. Pachacuti's main abilities are Unyielding, Spiritual, Agrarian, and Perfectionist. Unyielding, where forces inflict 5 war weariness when they defeat enemy forces. It's kind of useful. It definitely makes the war a little easier. But in practically speaking, I don't know enough about the game to completely capitalize on this ability. Spiritual is when cities gain 5 culture for each religion improvement built in them, which really means every city should try to build as many religion improvements as they can, starting with the altar, and hopefully we end up with a above average religion in this game. Agrarian is strong. Agrarian gives you 100% harvest production at farms and their upgrades, which helps. I mean, as long as you start to get farms early, which in our case, I don't know if we'll be getting farms very early, but as long as you do, you can actually secure things like grain and wine and anything else that is farmable. It's very useful. And of course, farms by default give you food, so you can again potentially grow really tall really fast as Pachacuti. Perfectionist is 200% craft production to industry improvements during golden ages. Situational. But we should try and maximize our golden ages or our ability to get golden ages. And that should be, that's the play here. Strategy wise, like I said before, I think we are going to lean into a military very early and make sure things are deployed. But then we will try and sim and try to kind of see what our neighborhood situation looks like. And to that end, the last game I played with 6 civs. I have bumped that number to 8. Pretty much everything else is the same. In the Xerxes game, it was a terra map and we had 6 civs, and we realized that we had a lot of land. In fact, there was just too much land around. It definitely made the game easy, and I think bumping this to 8 might just make it a bit more challenging for sure, and we'll just keep things competitive. And in future games, I will experiment crowding the map even more with more civs. But everything else remains pretty much standard for now. I'm not going to mess around with any of these settings. Let's see. I'm hoping for a very farm-focused, growth-focused empire here with a reasonable amount of production that I can only magnify with my Andean Masonry ability. So we do have a 4 food region, that's a positive, and our first growth is most likely going to be into this 5 zone 4 food region. Although it has only 1, but that's fine. It's 4 food. This is going to be a farming block with a granary. And outside of this 1 tile, I don't know if we have very strong. The surrounding land doesn't look strong, but the tiles that we have spawned on, and at least the ones that we will grow to in the initial game, in the initial phases, I think are definitely above average. A negative here is we are in a 4 zone region. I would have liked a 5 zone region just for having room to build something extra in the city center. But 4 is fine. Definitely, it pretty much locks what's going to go into these zones here. A dwelling, the palace, and potentially the monument. Or maybe the monument goes in a different city, I guess. But yeah, but dwelling and a palace, maybe 2 dwellings and a palace. Or maybe dwelling, palace, and an apothecary. Going for an apothecary and or an altar early. We're definitely going for altars. That's a given. But an apothecary and an altar are the only 2 buildings that you can build that give you knowledge. Typically, on this is a Grandio game, and unless I get an explicit scientist or unless something else happens that bumps up my science, I will be well behind the AI as far as their researching text is concerned. So, gotta be careful there. Let's load up on wealth, and I'm going to make sure that I have 1 jewel in my back pocket at all times. So, let's get our first feast. Then we will switch over to getting a jewel in place, and then we'll continue making feasts. I want to always have, at any given point in time, I want to always have 1 jewel just in case I need it. Because one of the things that I get trapped into, and it's not often, and it generally would happen to me more on lower difficulties, is I would find myself growing faster than having the amenities to support it. Yeah, I'm just out of sheer habit, I've just got into this habit of making sure I have some backup amenities in case I need them. Start with the scout, and most likely we'll go to for a spearman next. If we have the food, we will definitely get a settler out. Let's see, let's get the scout first though. And animal husbandry. So as far as text is concerned, animal husbandry is what we want. We want grain storage because we will be getting an early granary, and we will want archery. So archery, animal husbandry, and grain storage are definitely getting picked. Out of this bunch here, I can delay pottery, and especially if I do not grow to a limestone or a meteorite or something like that. So pottery and fermenting are probably the 2 things that I might delay early, but I would love to have herbalism. But if I pick herbalism and I see an option to build a stone pit somewhere and I would need it, I think I might go pottery in that case. We will skip pottery here because in the next era, in the next deck, we will be going for masonry early enough. So it'll pretty much give me everything that I'm leaving behind with pottery. The choice between leaving pottery or taking for pottery explicitly is literally comes down to, can you put down a stone pit in time? And if the answer is yes, then pick it, and then we can plan around late masonry. But if you don't have the option, I say just leave this behind. Same with fermenting. Eventually hospitality becomes a very key thing that we will always get, we will always want, and we will go to. So pretty much everything that's getting left behind with fermenting, we will get it at hospitality. Oh sweet, we picked up a good chunk of gold here. Oh, that's excellent. Okay, so first feast is up. We will do this. Let's use our stuff. So I am spending 2 turns to get my jewels, and my feast will only be active for 5 turns, which means if the next feast, I gotta be careful. I don't want my second feast to not be ready when I will need it. Just have to come back to the screen in a few turns. Or alternatively, I can just guarantee that by taking out this cougar. Killing the cougar will give me 1 feast, and I think I will do that. Just guarantees that before this feast is gone, I will have another feast to replace it. Okay, we use that precious stone. Let's switch this to wealth, and we will use that too. So we will switch that. Okay, leave it like that, and we do have 1 jewel, and that's our insurance, our backup. And now we will go back to our feasts. I will need it in 3 turns. I will have a spare one. I don't need to rush this. I can leave it such that I'm making one every 4 turns and that will be fine. Yeah, sweet. Picked up 10 food and extra feast, and that's excellent. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to buy the scout and queue up the settler be right behind it. We have the coast up there. And we are growing. Sweet. Let's grow to this. Oh. Yeah. It's only a 2-zone region. I think even though it has like it's a 2-zone region with wine on both. But I think this would still be a good tile to put a wonder on. In fact, even this one. Both these tiles are good for wonders. Always put wonders on regions where you have 2 zones or 3 zones, not more, because when you have more zones you can actually cluster other things around it, which is just better overall. So we have an obsidian here, and that can very well become the foundation of a ceramics industry. But yeah, I don't see good food. I think this is desert here. I don't want to settle directly into the desert without an option to grow fast. Although the material count in this area is fantastic. Since you are here, you can take this guy out. And actually, let's clear all these wolves. Okay, we picked up a codex, which is also not a bad flex amenity because it does give me city knowledge. The early game is tough. So much to do. I want to plant my farms down. I want a lot of units to bump up my production because right now my production is 12 and it will go up 10%. So it will go up to 13.2 and so on and so forth. I think the first couple may not matter, but when you get to your 5th and 6th unit or force cap, I think it'll start making an impact. Let's grab this one now. A settler will be out in 5 turns, but I need to know which direction to take him in. Uh-oh. This is not a good sign. That kind of settles it. I think I'm gonna buy this. I do have the gold. And let's queue up a spearman here. I think maybe, yeah, let's queue up 2 of them. I'll queue up the farm here too. And I think, yeah, let's leave it like that. He's gonna attack us. We'll have to run. And in fact, I think I should run now. If I try to grab this, I will not be able to grab it, and next turn he's gonna try and move in here, which is gonna engage my scout. So even if I try to retreat, it's gonna take away health from me. And knowing this, he's gonna chase us all over now. And I mean, we'll use that as an opportunity to scout further. But as far as picking up stashes and killing predators, that's definitely off the table now. Yep, he's chasing us. And our first settler. Now, the game says settle north, and I don't mind that, but this is it's also a 4-zone region, that is 3 zones, that is 3 regions away. I don't mind it. Okay, let's do this. Let's go to this tile and then see if any of the adjacent tiles are better settles. Else we will settle there, that's fine. Okay, I hope I have room to run around because I have a feeling he's going to end up killing me. If there is a choke point here and I can't move further south, yeah, the scout can die. So considering he came from here and we haven't seen anyone here, I have a feeling the camp is on one of these 2 tiles, which means we will probably need more. Let's get 3 spearmen, 1 spearman to engage the wandering warband and the other 2 to actually take out the camp. Okay, looks like he's backed off. In which case we can... Yeah, let's try and grab this. Animal husbandry is done. Did we get lucky? There is a pig here. Do not see any horses. 2 zones, 2 zones, 2 zones. That's a 5 zone region. I dare not take my settler to this side. Although... Yeah, no. I really wished one of these was a 5 zone region. Although... Yeah, this pig is not bad. I mean, I can totally settle on the pig. Or, hold on, I mean, in this zone here. I think, yeah, let's settle this one. It's a two food, which is kind of low, but that's fine. But it is 3 timber and 3 materials, and it's a 5 zone region. On the coast, one of these is going to be taken up by a farm, and probably I can plug a butcher shop next to it. So it might be a while before I can put down my granary now, because I am building units and a farm. But let's get it. Let's place the granary down sooner rather than later. We will deploy him, and this guy can clear things. We have a paragon, we have an engineer writer and a pioneer. Engineer chief advisor or writer chief advisor. One will help me with my research pattern, but one will just help me get my things faster. I think the engineer is better, simply because we want to build things fast. Okay. I gotta keep a watch. Whenever this count drops down to 2, I should buy them with gold. In fact, I probably have the gold to buy it right now. Yeah, no. Let's get it to 2 turns. So what districts am I gonna be putting here? There's definitely one butcher shop. I have 2 coastals. The docks are... I don't think the docks belong in this city center. So butcher shop, dwelling. Yeah, butcher shop and dwelling. And then something else later. Alright. Rispampa. Okay, let's get the farmer first. Yeah, don't use the food. How much grain do I have? I'm not really me. I'll need the farm to get that grain count up. So let's do it this way. Yeah, 1 every 5. It's a wash. It's pretty much guarantees that I have. Yeah, I'm producing slightly, like 0.1 more than I'm consuming. That's fine. And we have an event. Yeah, let's pick happiness. That will actually help the city construct things faster. And let's set 2 turns. Let's buy that. And let's see. I'm going to queue up a... Oh, I can't. Damn it. Alright, Sapporo. They'll give me... Oh, that's fine. Absolutely. Although it'll be a while before I can sway them to my side. We were the first to meet them. So, pretty much guarantees that all this land here is mine. So I think the next city needs to go down somewhere in this region. And yeah, definitely deploy that. That other unit is somewhere here. I need to be a little more careful. Hello. Japan? Yep, Japan. Alright. Let's see, what is his... He's neutral. I don't think I can give him a gift of anything that... It's a little too early in the game to have an oversupply of something I can gift. And that is a damn settler though. Okay. We are stronger. I think I can engage him. Let's see. he settled right there. So he's close. I got to go offline at some point and read up on Tokugawa's abilities. I know he has like there is a war benefit to him, and typically I think he has that patient ability, which means his units get stronger the late like in the later half of war, and I got to be cognizant of that. The farm is getting built, but I think I want to get my next settler out. And this city has a claim. Yeah, let's grab that. Yeah, the city's growing next turn too. And I'm probably going to buy or grow out this wine. It's a tile for a wonder in the future. So we have 2 units deployed, right? Maybe you should kind of reinforce him too. So since we have 2 formations deployed, actually it says 3 because okay, the moment I deploy them, I think it starts getting counted. And here, Andean Masonry, 30%, 3.3. But there is a waste component that is hurting me, but this will only get better. That 3.3 will very easily climb to like 7 or 8. I want to explore north. So let's go here and pick up these caches. City has a claim. I'll definitely be growing out of the high food ones, and I think this is the best one. I think it's fine. I mean, either of these could have been okay, but the wine helps. Yep, no surprises. We are last. Okay. Build a palace. Yeah, we'll try. Might take a while though. Alright. Grain store is done. I think get archery now. And you can go north and try to find where that camp is. Where is that guy? I don't know where that tribe is. Oh wow. It's a good area for ceramics industry. It might be a while before his pampa can grow to that though. There you go. You will fortify here. Event. I think that's fine. Let's buy the settler. Sacrifice knowledge or sacrifice production. I don't want to sacrifice production. I think I want that. I could very easily. I'm just 2 points away from claiming them. Okay. First statuaries and wealth. That's good. Let's go there. In fact, I think you guys need to move up and engage these guys. I do want to settle you somewhere in this area so I can secure some land here. 2, 3, 4. I think I'm going to settle right there. It's not the best food zone, but I think once I grow, I can grow out some of these good food tiles. The game still says to settle on these tiles here. No, I think this is better. It does put me in direct conflict with him in the future, but that's okay. I don't know if this landmass wraps around this way, but I think we should find out. Okay, archery's done. It'll be a while before I can put down a stone pit, I think. Let's get herbalism. But no, it only makes sense to get herbalism if I build it as soon as it's available. Because I do get city health, I do get city knowledge. And if I build it in the city center, the Great Hearth and like the gathering halls, they are government buildings. So they do definitely help. It will unlock tea leaves and mandrakes. So I could get lucky here. So I think I'm going to go for herbalism. Okay. I think feasts are fine and you can continue the same. I think a granary here is important. And at some point I want to plaster farms all the way next to it. But I will build some archers or Andy slingers. So the archer has 6 strength. The Andy's slinger is 8 strength. And the archer has one movement and the Andy slinger has two movements. But having one 3-unit default Andy slinger block moving around, they'll just be fast moving things that can engage things, I guess. So I do want like 3 of them, because eventually I'll create one formation from these, but for now I can deploy them as individuals. But it's going to take a while before that happens. Let's just place the farms down. And in fact, I would say get these guys before. That way I can bump up my production. Right, and this city now, what does it do? I think it definitely builds a military of some kind. But no, I think start with the workshop. I have 0 workshops right now, and that's a nice 3-zone. It's a city center. I will have a few dwellings, but having a workshop or 2 is not bad. So the land does wrap around. If there is no one to our north, as long as we have room to expand into, we don't have to lean into war to expand our empire. Butcher shop for sure. So pigs are useful. They will lean into my cured meats and leather. But for leather I need tanning industry. I need to get to weaving later. Okay. Let's pillage. This city has a claim. I think definitely, yeah, grow out to the sea, please. I wanna grow out of this tile next. Okay. This city also has the option to get stone or get a stone pit. But I think I want food first. And I think that's a fantastic tile though. Right. More food. More food sounds great actually. My timber count is fine, my material count is fine, and that is a 4-zone region with a rice. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what agrarian truly means. Amenity number 2 could lean into happiness and prosperity. I think that's not bad. And we will deploy that. I think I'll deploy that in Akari. The security in Akari is slightly better than the capital. Look at that. Well, that's fine. It's the first region he grew out to. I mean, if Akari is growing more, I'm going to definitely claim that. A move like this simply means that some kind of war is inevitable. Right. We're leaving fermenting and pottery behind. We are jumping to bronze working for sure. Oh, sweet. That's excellent. Akari is going to grow and I'm going to grow out to one of these tiles. Okay. You will stay there fortified. Now that we have 4. Oh, I should have bought this last turn. Let's see. We're at 40%, 4.8. Yeah, deploy. Let's move you guys down into Akari and you guys are going to hold fort. Akari is going to grow and we definitely are growing to this tile. Could buy the workshop here. Maybe wait a few turns, then we'll do it. I need the city to grow. But among other things, you could use a lumber mill. Lumber mills are great spots to put down experts, or logging camps rather. That's a good 3 timber region. But I've had a tendency to put my lumber logging camps in my capital, and experts are not easy to gain this since in this current patch. And my first expert, and I want to get to that as fast as possible, but my first expert is going to go into my Great Hearth. And we met Germany, Hildegard. Alright. So this land is mine and she's somewhere... I hope she's not like directly north of me. It's just, I don't think this is very good land. You can use live hogs and nothing else. But I should lean into cattle, fish or bison at some point. just to maximize my cured meats, and I think I'll make infinite cured meats because cured meats will be decent amenities to begin with, but as I build many of them, I think using them to craft like bunch of different things is going to be far more important. Like gourmet meals and preserved foods, yeah, all these are good. Okay. I wonder if this land wraps around. Maybe. Can build more units. Yeah, let's queue up 2 archers. And I think these archers come out before everything else. And in fact, queue up a settler right behind that. I mean, in the perfect world, I want everything right now. And that's just not going to happen. So let's just maximize our production now. And looks like he has gone and grabbed that. I'm growing soon, so I will be grabbing that next. Okay, we have enough influence to grab a trait. I could use this to grab a tile. So 10 culture in all cities, 100% trade production for 20 turns after conquering a city, or 50% build production to improvements in regions with culture improvements. So as long as I build so this is kind of I don't think this is a good one though. I need to build a cultural improvement first in an empty zone or an empty region to get the 50% build production to improvements, to other improvements in that region. It's not the city, it's the region. So this is really not that great. I think I'll take the flat 10% culture. I think it might help my overall influence. That's strange. This is the first time I'm seeing this. I'm seeing impassable areas. And I'm pretty sure this is a mountain range. I don't know if there is a pass this way. Might be. But this is a zone that can be improved. I see the boundaries of the different zones in it. Whoa. 5 materials. That's actually a very strong yeah, but this is like so food challenged. I will settle a city in this desert, but not right now. Maybe later in the game. Move into the city. It'll be easier to heal. New Kilka. Yeah, take the relationship. Lose happiness, but that's fine. Oh. Okay. I will need a dwelling at some point too. Crap. It's like so much to do. Yep. Take that. And you need a dwelling. So let's buy that workshop and place down the dwelling here. And I think you can work cured meats. The city is going to need... I think I will convert the city into a military city after the dwelling is up. I give him materials for faster research. Yeah. Alright, so I'll probably need more workshops before all is said and done. But what I do want to do is keep a stack of 12 lithic tools and 12 baskets on hand at all times. And yeah, let's get here and then we will see. Alright, we are at 8 of 8. And 8 of 8 means we are... Andean Masonry is giving us 9.6 out of our current value of 25. It still feels slow though. I think the city just needs to grow, and I think that'll happen soon enough. Can I buy this settler? No, I can't. Can I buy a farm? I think I'm going to buy the other farm too. Bronze working is done. Sacred rites. Yeah, I think sacred rites first. We do have a paragon. I think prophet's right here, but the prophet as a what? Domestic advisor might feel him good, but I think I'm going to plug him as a cultural advisor here. So in a couple of games, like in a couple of test games that I played, I tried using a prophet as a domestic advisor, and honestly, I mean, I'm sure the math would be accurate, but it did not translate into me earning a higher percentage of paragons. So I don't know if this is all that great. But this is always good because, yeah, I will be able to prioritize my altars and build my altars ASAP. And the spiritual ability for Pachacuti definitely gives more benefits that too. Cities gain 5 culture for each religion improvement built in them. And just, yeah, it's just going to be good. So once we get to sacred rites, I think prioritizing altars is going to be important. So how many units do I have? Is there a way to tell how many things I have here? I have 3 slingers and 3 spearmen, and I'm deploying 2 more archers. That's the 8. Now, in all honesty, I should continue building more military because I should reform them into wedges and some other formations. Ah, sweet. I'm tempted. I think this is better though. Because the moment I'm going to buy that logging camp, and next turn I'm going to start working on the stone pits here. But you need a dwelling first. And I think your meats. Yeah, things are slow. Like playing on higher difficulties, things definitely move slow. Okay, let's try to find out where Hildegard's borders are. But it looks like pretty much everything north of us is ours to claim. Coastal water, but it looks like a lake really. But yeah, I'm going to call it a lake just for our benefit. But we'll surround the lake with cities. And then eventually we'll go up this way. There are 2 river systems here, which potentially could mean 2 different cities on this river system. A sick amount of gold here, but going to be food challenged, I think. Yeah, looks like there is a dead spot here that no one will be able to get to. There is a zone, but there is no way to get to it. I think it's probably a bug in the map generation script. I mean, a simple check would be like, for every region that has zones, is there a path from at least one other region with zones? If not true, then it's not something's wrong with the map. So in this latest iteration of this event, family business, or we get free irrigation, we get free wheel, or we get free trading. These are 150 research, these are but trading is 300 research. Just from a cost benefit standpoint, going for trading here seems like the best option. If I was rushing for hanging gardens, I would definitely go for irrigation first. But I will need a flower field for that. And hanging gardens of Cusco does have a good ring to it. But since this is 150, I can hard tech this. I think I'm going to still pick trading. The only time I would not pick this is if I have no intention of picking trading. So let's see. Is there a scenario here where I will not be picking trading at all, right? Because what I lose is the ability for a road pass. I think I will get that when I get the wheel. But the wheel is something I will definitely consider leaving behind because I have no source of horses or elephants. So I'm going to be, I don't know, this is so bad. Because without cavalry, what happens to my game? But going for wheel is just a safety thing because even if I don't have horses, I can always trade for them if I'm lucky. She doesn't have horses to trade, but let's see. Maybe she'll be a trading partner. The road pass is gettable with the wheel, and let's assume we get it. Trade goods, we can wait until coinage, or basically we make coinage a prerequisite, something that we have to get if we leave trading behind. The trading post is we have to pretty much wait for banking if we leave this behind. But I know that the trading post or the trade goods which is made in the trading post are actually a fantastic amenity, or like a higher tier amenity. Could benefit me, really. I think I already have the ability for a bakery, don't I? You get the bakery at grain storage. So trading is something I could potentially leave behind, but I think I will not. I think I want to go for it. I wanted to try something different here, but I don't think I have the ability to. I mean, my first thought was to go for irrigation and rush the hanging gardens. But knowing what I'm building and knowing how my production queue is specced out, I'm not rushing anything. I think, yeah, let's just go for free trading here. New Westphalen. Sure. I could get a scout and clear these guys. They are in my land. He should not get upset about it. Declined. Yes. Okay. Right, settler. Part of me wants to go and settle this side, but I have no idea how far the cities are. And if we do end up going to war, I will be way overextended. Better than that, I think a spot up here is slightly better. I don't know. These are not these areas won't grow fast. That's the problem. Again, these are all food poor areas. I think something on the coast here is fine. I think, or alternatively, right there at the tip. Okay. Yeah. This is basically this event is a precursor to war. I think that's okay. One thing that the game doesn't do very well is to communicate how much of what kind of a military like any civ has. So I have no idea what he has. I know that I have 8 formations totaling 139, and I think I might want to build a few more. So okay, let's do it this way. I think I will need a dwelling here when this grows though. So granary, farm is fine. I will need a dwelling. And along with that, I should queue up some military. Let's have 2 swordsmen in reserves. Let's get the other stuff first. I've been delaying my stuff way too long. Okay. Assimilate or raise. Okay, so he's trying to get to Akari. Wants to end the current war. I mean, seriously? He just started it. Okay, he's gonna move in these guys. I think I'm fine for now. Oh, that's her capital. She might get pissed at us if we settle here. I do want a war game, but I want a war game on my terms, not being forced upon. That's fine. That's the joy of playing games like these. Indirect fire. Buy that dwelling. And I think this farm can wait. I think among other things you need to put down an altar. Same thing in the capital, although the capital doesn't have a spot for it. In which case we will use our influence. I'm gonna buy it in Cusco next turn. And Spampa can put down the altar right there. Let's queue these up and you can buy that dwelling too. It might be a while before we have the palace. The wheel is something I can leave behind for now. I will get this eventually. Trebs, no, I need it. It's just too much of a critical. Devs can fix this by having other kind of cavalry. Like give me a freaking donkey cart for all I care. I know that will work too. Make it stronger, like make it a little weaker than like a horse chariot, but something, because without cavalry, it's just like I will perpetually be on defense. You can't plan offense until you get gunpowder, I guess. 6 of these guys. I don't know who all are attacking him, but the spearman can try and step in here. Yeah, we can try some pillages off. Let's fan out. They're not strong. I mean, I can't like push in with what I have, but it's possible I can get some pillages here. Now I need a spot to put down an altar, and I think I want a 2 material region because eventually I'm going to build a weaving industry. So altar, weaver, and 2 other religion buildings. But that 5 zone is slightly better, I think. It's fine. Let's get that. And we have our first expert who is definitely going to go into the Great Hearth. An expert in the Great Hearth gives you 10 research per turn, 10 city production, and more craft production. The biggest reason why you want this here is for a secular buff to your entire stats, which means your first expert, which comes online at city level 5, you want to grow to city level 5 as soon as possible, which is why I've been saying that I need to maximize my growth as fast as possible. You have one more tile I can claim. Is any other city needed? I don't know. I think I'm going to claim it here. Any other better 4-foot tile? Nope. Let's get this one. It's fine. Another nation has advanced to the Iron Age. 35, 48. Okay, so he has a bunch of good things moving in. So let's just fall back here. Okay. Wall deck. Now I have the ability to make festivals, and I think I'll just make them. Let's always have 5 on hand, although I don't have... Yeah, can't really accelerate this just yet. But let's leave it like that for now. And this city, yeah, builds an altar for sure. Every city, I think altars are very important in all cities. Sure. Can give you my materials, that's fine. Yep. It's almost like either we need to get some wonders, or we need to get or conquer a few cities. One of those two things have to happen at some point in Act 1 to help you generate prestige. He has he definitely has a big force. And I think I need to be defensive here. Yeah, my 6 guys aren't enough. My 8 guys, rather. So here's the problem, right, with playing as Inca. I'm at my force cap. That force cap is giving me a massive amount of production right now. In fact, a third of my production is coming because of my Andean Masonry ability. Losing this city, I don't mind losing the city. But if my military gets wiped out, I lose my production too. So basically, if I lose this city, it's pretty much... it might be game over. He has 33 turns. He can totally... let's see how this plays out. But I'm not holding out. I don't think things are going to end well here. Yeah, and this guy's going to die. And my city's going to lose. I'm going to lose my city. Let's make happiness. Yeah, I think the city's done. I think this game is done. Just a matter of time before things shake up. I think security is giving me 2 relationship bump, but that's... I think let's just delay that for a few. Religion can be found at any military thingies. I'm just going to pick the first religion here. I don't care. I think this game is going to... I don't have too high hopes of surviving this game. Okay. 4 strength. Okay. Let's see. I don't think it's going to help. Shit. Yeah, stuff coming up behind it too. Change government. +5 quality of life stats. Another verse. Strategist, big chance might be a little too late here. But it's fine. Yeah, we're done. Masonry. I'm gonna jump to ironworking. 21 turns. I mean, this city, I will not be able to hold on for 21 turns. I will be able to retain my capital. I don't think my capital falls. But I have 0 military. And look at this. My production is down. It's just, so this is the handicap here. Building a military or having a force cap helps your production, and just taking out the units pretty much decapitates Inca, which is what's happened to us right now. And look at that. I think this guy's gonna die, and there is a 20 turns. I don't know if it's enough. Yes, let's just auto explore you guys. 18 turns now. Yeah, we lost that city. Oh, it was a war of whatever expansion there. So the war ended because he got his yeah, look at that. Okay, so we got to figure out a better way to play Inca here. And a key part of that is to not lose units. Which means if there is a warmonger, like for example here, right, the average strength of his forces was like between 50 and 80. And he had 3 of those blocks come our way. Now, we had single unit formations deployed as forces because we have a force cap of 8. But really, we need to be deploying wedges and lines. And those guys need to be like stacked and defending cities. And that's pretty much the only way here. Again, I did not have enough time to... Like, it took me a while to get set up in the normal game, in the sim game, and to build those 8 units. But those 8 units are not enough. You need to build 24 of them to build 8 3-unit formations. And that's pretty much a given if you want to survive any kind of conflict or war or be defensive. Because losing units means you will kill your capital's production. Cusco's production suffers, and that's just a major handicap. So any playstyle around Inca needs to revolve around not losing units and having a lot of units. Not sure how to square that circle. Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'll think about this. This has been a good learning experience here. Thank you for watching, and yeah, definitely tune into the next one. If you have made it this far and have enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share with your friends, or consider subscribing. And if you're already subscribed, my heartfelt thanks to you. Thank you.